Good evening, Tallahassee, and welcome to another edition of For FSU Weather. Today is Monday, November 25th, 2013. I'm Nicole Madden.
And I'm student meteorologist Tyler Allender. We got a busy Monday edition of the show. Thanks for tuning into livestream.com for watching the show as we're preparing for Thanksgiving.
That's right. Those dreary conditions we had today, sad to say, they're leading up to something. Is that right?
They are. Those big, dark, ominous skies are coming in the form of some rain as we go into tonight and especially tomorrow. Around here, we'll be seeing those increased rain chances. And really, this is going to be part of a system that's affecting a lot of the country as we go up toward Thanksgiving.
That's right. AAA reports that there's going to be 43.3 million travelers out on the roads this holiday. Thanksgiving's the busiest travel season of the year, so it's really going to make for messy conditions.
And that's just on the roads, right?
That's
You'll
right.
be on the
I'll be in the air.
I'll
be in the air. Hopefully I'll be in the air. So I don't know. We'll see. There is going to be definitely some delays for the roads, though. They're reporting up in New York and western Pennsylvania that they could see 6 to 12 inches, even 18 inches of snow. It's November. We're not ready.
So while we got the heavy rain that we're expecting along the Gulf Coast, north of Interstate 20, you're talking some wintry precipitation, snow, and maybe even some sleet if you're far enough south.
Right, exactly.
That's Wednesday.
That's Wednesday. Yep, Dallas they already hit the pike on the travel delays. But hey, let's take it out to Troy before we talk more about the travel delays. Troy, what's going on in our overview?
Already thank you guys at the desk, and I can't wait to gobble down that turkey on Thursday. But in the meantime, if you're planning on travel for Thanksgiving, you're going to be running in quite a bit of problems, especially tomorrow going to Wednesday. But let's jump right into your weather headlines just to show you what's going to be happening over the next couple of days. That storm system that will be moving into our area tomorrow, thunderstorms will be probable tomorrow, so you're going to have that umbrella out. But fortunately, clear skies will be on the horizon for Thanksgiving, and it will bring a cooler and much refreshing air for Thanksgiving. But across the country, for the time being, we got a storm system that's moving across the United States, and you can see right here it's going to be moving into our region over the next couple of days. It's going to be giving us some rain showers tomorrow, but for the time being, very clear right now, so good. If you're planning on doing any travel there, but tonight's forecast is going to be quite chilly. 54 degrees is tonight's overnight temperature, so it's going to be overcast but muggy, but still cool, so make sure you have that jacket. But let's toss it back out to the desk, and guys, I hope you're excited for turkey on Thursday.
Oh, I'm definitely excited. Right, exactly. I'm excited for turkey. Well, we have to report that there is another system heading into India, Category 1 Lahar.
Yeah, it seems like it's been a real hard time for folks out there, and this system is moving west-northwest at 8 miles per hour into the Bay of Bengal, and really an intensifying system.
It is. Lahar actually means wave in Hindustani, so it is standing for there's actually some cirrus clouds forming in the center of the system, which really will lead to an intensifying system, which will bring it into a Category 3 hurricane.
So definitely folks here need to watch out. And you mentioned wave, and well, there's going to be a lot of waves, of course, with this cyclone. Could see even storm surge 5 to 10 feet or so, and that's 5 to 10 feet above normal astronomical tides.
That's right. The same area just saw a cyclone Helene hit just on Friday. So they're really seeing some damaging effects there with the agriculture as well as loss of life. There were 11 casualties this past weekend, so it is very, very tragic for them, and we are definitely putting our thoughts and prayers with them over in India. But let's take it out to Jack right now as he takes us on our first local and our Thanksgiving forecast.
Yeah, guys, no real tropical storms to talk about in Tallahassee. Started off a little clearer today, some colder conditions as we started our day. Clouds started coming into the mid-afternoon, it's lingering around still. I think those clouds will linger around into tonight too, and that's when we'll start seeing our rain chances start amping up as we progress into tonight and mainly into tomorrow. The southeast satellite and radar really shows some of the storms starting to develop that we will see tomorrow, some in the Gulf of Mexico, just south of Alabama and Mississippi, and some storms making this way through northern parts of Alabama, and those storms will start clipping our region in the next 24 hours or so. Currently, though, at the airport, 60 degrees. Overcast skies will linger around. That dew point is at 45 degrees, so we're getting some of those ripe conditions to actually see some severe thunderstorms tomorrow. That dew point at 57%. A little sticky out there with those chilly conditions as well. Currently all across the Big Bend, 59 degrees in Thomasville, 60 degrees in Tallahassee, 59 degrees down in St. Mark's, and 57 down at the coast at Carabel. These temperatures will be on the rise tomorrow as we have a warm front in front of the cold front, so those conditions will get a little warmer as we progress into the day, and that really will help that energy of those storms to start firing up as we make our way into tomorrow. As talking about tomorrow, that warm front I was talking about will slowly make its way into the region by Tuesday in the morning. Those conditions will be ripe for some storms to start firing up as we progress into Tuesday afternoon. We'll see heavier thunderstorms, maybe isolated thunderstorm out there, but we'll eventually drift off into Wednesday. We'll be chilly, but we'll be clear out there, so it'll be a nice day out there. Really cold conditions, though, because this cold front will be packing quite a punch. So, yes, your Thanksgiving day will be quite chilly out there. But as we progress into our next graphic, into the boating forecast on the water, not a great day to get out there. That system is really going to be kicking up those waves, 6 to 9 feet, gusty winds out there, chopping conditions. Not a great day to get out there. Winds out of the south 20 to 25 knots. So I recommend to keep that boat on dock. Not a great day to get out there. Tonight's forecast, though, 54 degrees. Overcast skies will be muggy tonight. Those winds will mainly be out of the east at 10 to 15 miles an hour. So not really a great day for us in the next 24 hours or so. Tomorrow, 100% chance of rain. 65 degrees is what we're calling for our high. Scattered thunderstorms are very possible. 1 to 2 inches in total. Our 7-day forecast, so actually our winter wear, I forgot I put this graphic in. Rain boots and jackets we'll need for tomorrow on Tuesday. Wednesday will be cool, and our Thanksgiving day, you'll need sunglasses and sweaters, and probably take off that belt because of all that turkey we'll be eating, right, Nicole? On our 7-day, you'll see once we make our way into Thanksgiving, will be chilly, not a lot of rain conditions in the region, and our whole weekend's looking really nice, but tomorrow will be the big weather maker.
That's right, especially if you're heading up to the southeast, Jack. We have quite the conditions heading on for us, as there will be rain, substantial rain and snow heading up the coast, up the I-95 corridor. Right now, across the area, we are seeing those cooler fall temperatures, 60 in Tallahassee, 54 in Montgomery, and check it out, 38 in Tupelo, 36 in Shreveport, as they are starting to get some rain at this hour. Our satellite and radar shows that this system is moving in, bringing on that rain and potential for some storms. It is a cold front, and it has been causing quite the havoc across the plains and Midwest. Even Texas saw a few inches of snow from this system. Thankfully for us in Tallahassee, we will not be seeing snow, but we will be seeing rain and some cooler conditions. Our dew points are showing that we do have those drier conditions, 19 in Atlanta at this hour, 45 degrees in Tallahassee, so there isn't a lot of moisture, but it will be pushing its way in. Our winds are coming out of the northeast, pulling in those cooler temperatures, 10 miles per hour in Savannah, 7 miles per hour in Tallahassee, and 13 miles per hour in New Orleans coming out of the east. All that rain is starting to build and pushing its way in. You saw a little bit of red. That stands for some heavy precipitation that will be falling across the Big Bend region, and it will be heading up the coast, as Troy will be telling us in your travel segment across the national that we will be seeing chance for a nor'easter to form and bring on quite the amount of snow and rainfall. Here's the system, that low pressure system that has built up in the Gulf of Mexico, pulling in with it a lot of rain as well as those cooler temperatures that will pass. So if you are planning to travel tomorrow or Wednesday, please be careful if you head out because the roads will be slick. This system will push on up and through, so you will have a gorgeous Thanksgiving, but we will have those chillier conditions that will be sticking around for the next week. On the water tomorrow, if you are heading out on your boat, it won't be the best day. As Jack said, we really are going to have gusty winds and choppy conditions. The winds will be coming out of the south at 20 to 25 knots, and those waves will be kicking up 6 to 9 feet, so it really won't be the best of days. And tonight's forecast, we will be seeing those temperatures hitting the lower portions of the south of the spectrum, as you'll see 38 in Atlanta and even some potential for snow tomorrow. We'll also be seeing 47 in Atlanta tomorrow, and we will be seeing those temperatures hitting up higher. But hey, Tyler, having a little bit of technical difficulties. I'm not as graceful as everyone else doing this, but hurricane season.
I think you did a fine job, and I know that's why you're smiling. You're smiling because we had a lack of activity in the tropics.
I am definitely smiling over that. So it is 5 days out. We only have 5 days left of hurricane season, and we only had 2 named storms. Why is that?
Well, we had 13 named storms, 2 hurricanes, but that's okay. And that's the least sixth least active hurricane season we've seen since 1950, but the reason why is because we've seen tons of dry, sinking air in the Atlantic, Saharan dust, and then you add to that the wind shear. Those are enemies for tropical systems to develop. So that's a wrap of this hurricane season and our death segment. Let's go ahead and take it out to look at the national now with Troy.
All right, thank you. Nice to see you guys smiling over at the desk, but we got quite a bit of mess to tell you about across the country. You can see we got two systems on the eastern seaboard, one system on the southeast giving us some rain in the south, and another one giving us snow across much of the northeast. And speaking of that, we do have some watches and warnings to tell you about. We're going to see these pink and purple colors. We have winter weather advisories, and we're going to see the pink is winter storm warning. That means that we are expecting some winter-like conditions, especially in the form of significant snowfall to come away over the next couple of days, and that will be extremely problematic for those of you that are having any travel plans, especially Tuesday and Wednesday. And we're going to tell you about more of that in just a moment. But as far as the southeast is concerned, you can see that the storm system right now in the southeast is giving lots of rain across Mississippi and Louisiana. So if you're traveling along I-10 right now, not the best travel problem. Well, you're going to have a lot of problems due to this rain, but basically what I'm saying is that to take it easy along the roads because it's going to be quite hectic over the next couple of hours, especially as you head along I-65, I-55. Basically, just take it easy on the roads. But stringing off towards the northeast, you can see right now across the Great Lakes, they're seeing a little bit of snow showers for the time being, so nothing too bad right now. So just expect some lake effect snow showers. But as I mentioned, that will move on towards the east, and that's where we could run into some problems because as we zoom out across the country, again, really, it's just going to be very problematic. And again, zooming back and towards the southeast, where there's that rain that I was talking about that is pushing along the I-10 region. So if you have any travel plans, just be on the lookout. Or if you have any airports, you're flying out of, say, New Orleans or Houston or even Memphis. For the most part, you're going to want to check the air traffic carriers because things on the Wednesday could get quite messy. But and speaking of that airport delays, right now, no airport delays whatsoever, but that will likely change as we head tomorrow and Wednesday. But right now, as far as your current conditions, it's still very cold across much of the country, sitting in the 30s, so make sure that you have your jackets handy. And tonight's forecast is still going to be quite cold, 32 degrees in Memphis, and chilly 14 degrees in Minneapolis. And tomorrow's forecast is concerned more chilliness as a store across most of the northeast with 20-degree temperatures in Minneapolis. Now let's toss it off to your local with Melanie.
Thanks, Troy. For the satellite and radar in our area right now, it was pretty clear, but starting tomorrow, we can just see all this rain that's going to be heading from the east towards us, and that's because of a trough that is heading our way. For our almanac, today it was 60 degrees. That was our high. Our low was 45. Now, the 45 was right around the average for today, and our high was just a little cooler than usual. Current conditions, it's currently 60 right now and overcast. Our humidity was at 57, so not a bad day in the ways of humidity. Our current temperature, it's 60 in Tallahassee, 59 in Bainbridge, 56 over here in Mariana. It's basically just high 50s, low 60s all around the board. For the future cast now, we have this low pressure system and this that has a warm front and a cold front attached to it. As this low pressure system starts to move toward our region, it's going to be bringing with it a lot of rain starting tomorrow. So tomorrow on your commute home for Thanksgiving, just make sure you drive safely and watch out for those thunderstorms. Then as the low pressure system starts to move out of our area, it's going to be leaving behind clear conditions. We're going to have nice cool temperatures for our Thanksgiving. It's going to be nice and chilly, some of those fall seasonable temperatures. For tonight's forecast, it's going to be 54 degrees, the overcast skies. It's going to be muggy, and we're going to start to feel some of those rain showers that are going to be hitting us. Tomorrow's forecast, 65, 100% chance of rain, so make sure if you're staying on campus that you have your rain boots or umbrella, and if you plan on driving home tomorrow, make sure to try to leave earlier in the morning in order to avoid those thunderstorms. For our 7-day forecast, tomorrow, again, a very high chance of rain, so make sure you're careful on your way home. Thursday, though, it's going to be beautiful for Thanksgiving. We have a low of 28, high of 56. For the rest of the week, it's going to be completely clear and beautiful, with our lows ranging from the 40s to the 30s, and our highs are going to be 60s and 70s. Now let's take... So now let's take it back to the desk.
If you're heading anywhere but Florida this week, that Thanksgiving forecast is going to ruffle a few feathers.
Yeah, your travel forecast into Thanksgiving could be pretty treacherous to get through.
Yeah, at least getting to your travel destination. There's a snow mix, rain up course from the northeast down into the mid-Atlantic, and that snow is going to pile up in New York.
Yeah, some lake effect snow coming across the Finger Lakes and into from Lake Ontario and Lake Erie that could bring some snow into the northeast part of the nation.
If you're looking for some drier weather, head out west. It's going to be dry out towards the Rockies and the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, some good Thanksgiving Day plans for those folks out there. But for a closer look to the southeast, we're going to send it out to the wall with Casey.
Thanks so much, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look around Florida. In fact, we see that there is some high cloud cover that will be making its way up into the Panhandle region over the next little bit here. And that's a sign of things to come, that we could, in fact, have some moisture move in, and we will see a chance of some storms, in fact, on your Tuesday. So make sure you keep an eye to that. We'll be talking about that throughout the forecast here. Now, we'll focus a little bit on the local picture. Right now, it's pretty much all clear in terms of precipitation. We have some high clouds over the region, and that, again, this is a sign of things to come. We will need to keep our eyes very closely on a severe weather threat tomorrow. Isolated tornadoes, damaging winds are a major threat of that, so we'll monitor that very closely here in the Weather Center. Now, your water vapor does show this situation very nicely. In fact, moisture in the upper levels of the atmosphere. We see that they're in the green color, that there is some of this, and that's going to be making its way up into the region as we get later into the night and tomorrow, and that will enhance our chances of precipitation in the forecast. We have a 100% chance of rain tomorrow. That doesn't happen very often, so make sure you keep an eye very closely to that forecast. Now, your current conditions across the state, we're sitting 73 degrees in Fort Myers, 74 degrees in West Palm Beach. But up here in northern Florida, we're seeing much cooler conditions. In fact, we have 59 degrees in Jacksonville, and here in Tallahassee, we're sitting at 60 degrees. So now, your current dew points, 57 degrees in Jacksonville, 58 degrees in Orlando, 62 Fort Myers, a little bit higher as we get downstate. That measures your moisture content in the lower parts of the atmosphere. 45 though in Tallahassee, but that's going to change as we get more moisture into the picture. Dew points expected to be in the low to mid 60s tomorrow. Now, your current wind speeds out there right now, we have 6 miles an hour Jacksonville, 7 miles an hour Tallahassee. These will pick up though as we get into the next few hours and into tomorrow, especially when we have that chance of severe weather in the forecast. Now, if you're traveling, Futurecast will be key in the period here. We'll see that we do have some storms making their way across the state. We'll stop it here at about late morning, early afternoon, in fact, and we'll see that some of those storms will make their way out of the state. So that's some good news. So if you're traveling, either do it earlier or later in the period, or maybe early on your Tuesday, or maybe later on Wednesday. Now, going ahead and taking a look though at your forecast for tonight, we see 59 degrees Tallahassee, 59 degrees Jacksonville. Now, temperature downstate warmer, 75 in Miami, 74 in West Palm Beach. And then in the forecast for tomorrow, if you're traveling, travel weather will be a key factor in the forecast here. A lot of people traveling, if you're going on Interstate 10 across northern parts of the state, 68 in Tallahassee. Here, now temperature's a little bit warmer over towards Jacksonville, though. 78 degrees. Further downstate, if you're taking maybe I-4, Orlando, 80 degrees. I-95, 84 degrees in West Palm Beach. So we'll monitor the situation for you very closely here in the Weather Center. But right now, we'll go ahead and take it over to a look at winter weather with Jonathan.
And it's a little bit early for right now for winter weather to be a problem here in the southeast, but unfortunately for most of the I-20 corridor, that's exactly what they saw today. Last night we saw sleet and snow in a mixture from Dallas up into Oklahoma, and that translated all the way into southern Tennessee over into Alabama and Mississippi. There was actually some sleet just towards the north of Birmingham, Alabama, and that's pushing off towards the north and east. And there's also a lot of snow coming off the lakes caused by an entirely different system, which I'll get to in just a second. Most of the I-10 corridor will see rain. No worries there except for some severe weather, which I'll also get to in a little bit. Taking a look at the temperatures, and also we're going to see some that severe threat coming in tomorrow afternoon from Apalachicola over to St. Mark's and up towards the I-95 corridor. As this low pressure system passes, it will rain here tomorrow, folks. And it's going to be a wet day for much of the southeast. 1 to 2 inches of rain expected, and this is all going to translate up towards the north and east from I-20 up towards the I-95 corridor, and it's going to become messy from the Appalachians up towards the Great Lakes, and it's going to be rain for most of us across the East Coast. Starting out, check the clock there, Wednesday at 8 a.m., we're going to see rain from Boston down into New York, down into Washington, D.C. Now, where the troubles come in is tomorrow afternoon, so get your travel plans in. If you have a choice to bump up your flight tomorrow afternoon, go ahead and do so, because all of this snow is going to slowly shift on towards the east. A lot of these places from northern New York down into western Pennsylvania are going to see 8 to 14 inches of snow just off those lakes for tomorrow afternoon. As the system moves up the east coast, that snow is going to slowly creep closer and closer, and that pink, that's ice, that's freezing rain. That's going to accumulate, and it's going to make the roads very, very slick from western Virginia up into even the Philadelphia area before turning over to snow farther north. And that lake effect snow machine is really going to crank on in from Watertown, New York up into the northern parts of New England. And those warnings are starting to be issued already. Everything in pink here is winter storm warning for the lakes. Again, 8 to 14 inches in some places very close to the lakes there. No travel delays yet. They're battling with a couple of travel delays from Syracuse up into northern New England because of some higher winds, which have already begun in advance of the storm system. And we're also having to play with this. This is the lake effect snow band that's coming in from Canada and is pushing down into northern Michigan and into New York. And this is really going to kick into high gear tomorrow afternoon and into the evening hours, which is when we're going to see a lot of that precipitation falling. All of the winter precipitation has changed over to rain in Arkansas over into Mississippi for now. That's going to become wintry precip again as we head into tomorrow afternoon. For the southeast, we're only going to have to worry about that severe weather. This is going to be mostly rain for us, and temperatures are really going to take a tumble as we head into tonight. 51 in New Orleans, 32 in Memphis, and as we head into tomorrow's forecast, those temperatures keep on falling as we head into the southern Mississippi Valley. 68 here in Tallahassee is your forecast for tomorrow. 43 for a high in Memphis tomorrow.
Some chilly conditions for sure in most parts of the southeast as that cold front starts driving across.
Yeah, and once we get those fireworks through here in Tallahassee, we're going to actually have to look up at the sky for some solar fireworks.
Yeah, it's not New Year's quite yet, but we could see some flares coming from the sun.
And those flares are actually going to impact a comet that is passing very close to the sun, and it'll actually be on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, the comet should be going past the sun around Thanksgiving. And if it does make it past the sun, you could take a look outside and see it with the naked eye.
Now, it'll be nice and clear on Thanksgiving, so get out that night, take out your telescope or even a pair of binoculars, and you'll be able to see it.
Yeah, very interesting stuff. Some hot conditions for that poor comet, but for us in Tallahassee, we're going to be cooling down in the next few days, correct, Tyler?
Yeah, we sure are, and luckily that comet is going to be coming on Thanksgiving, and we'll be seeing that clear skies. Until then, or at least for the next 24 to 36 hours or so, it's going to be a little bumpy across the eastern part of the country, and you won't even have to go to an amusement park. Imagine that. But you can see it's going to be quite bumpy along the roadways. It already is because of all this moisture that's moving through. It's very unsettled, and we could see a couple inches of rain in some spots over the next couple of days. The water vapor satellite imagery shows how much moisture is in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. Basically, we have a low pressure system in the Gulf of Mexico combining with a cold front and a warm front, and that's going to help to lift the shower and thunderstorm activity over the next day or so. But right now, temperatures, you can see this is also a big story with that cold front. It's much colder behind the front. Temperatures are beginning to warm up in the Tallahassee area, 60 degrees right now compared to our 45 degrees this morning. In fact, you can see that little temperature swing. We were at 60 yesterday afternoon, and then this morning, mid-40s. We didn't get into the 30s like we expected because of a little bit of a breeze, but plenty of clouds today kept temperatures a little chilly, right around 60 degrees. And right now, we're at 60 degrees, and I think our low temperature is going to come in the next couple of hours before that warm front kicks things into, we see some milder temperatures going into your Tuesday around here, but talking temperatures around 70 degrees for a high temperature tomorrow. So all in all, a very complicated forecast, but right now the big story is temperatures are milder than they were about 24 hours ago, and that's thanks to this approaching warm front. And then we have a cold front, but until that cold front moves through, it's going to be a little stormy. We have an isolated risk of severe weather tomorrow, so that could come with some gusty winds. Thankfully, we won't have a lot of sunshine, so that's going to be one limiting factor with these storms. But the bottom line is we're going to get a lot of heavy rain, and it's going to be very messy on the roadways tomorrow. So if you can travel early tomorrow morning or hold off until Wednesday, that's your best bet. And let's go ahead and take a look at futurecast rainfall totals. Notice how this is going to be a real doozy across the southeast, especially in, say, the Appalachian Mountains, 1 to 3 inches. Clearly, you can tell where the low pressure is going to be tracking. Further south around here, we may only get 3/4 of an inch of rain, according to this particular computer model. But still, heavy rain is expected. We have a 100% chance of rain tomorrow. For tonight, though, we'll be dry. Don't worry, it'll be muggy. Temperatures in the mid-range of the 50s. Then by afternoon, we'll see highs in the mid to upper 60s with maybe an inch or 2 of rain possible just about everywhere. And here's how you can plan your outfits for the next couple of days. Sweaters and slacks tomorrow, and maybe even, actually, you need the rain boots tomorrow. 7-day forecast shows that the sunshine returns by Wednesday and Thursday. Thanksgiving is going to feel more like New Year's with highs in the mid-range of the 50s. But let's go ahead and wrap things up with Jack and John.
We all know that Tyler's going to be splish-splashing with some of those rain boots out there tomorrow, and I think a lot of students will be doing the same thing.
Yes, a lot of students will be heading home for the Thanksgiving holiday, and for us here at FSU Weather, we hope you make those travel plans earlier on because we'll think we'll see the bulk of the storms into the afternoon.
Yeah, we'll see those isolated chances of some severe weather as we head past like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon until the early evening.
Yeah, especially if you're driving down south, some storms can start making this way into the southeast part of Florida, and if you are traveling that distance, you'll be following the rain the whole way home.
The good thing is if you're heading out to those Black Friday sales Thursday into Friday, is the sun's going to come out.
Yeah, it's looking really nice. Thanksgiving, we're calling for our high to be 56 degrees, so really chilly Thanksgiving Day, really putting you in that holiday spirit.
Yeah, thankfully we can start playing that holiday music as we head into Friday.
Start decorating the house, putting some lights up, right, John?
Yeah, I won't be doing that, but we will be doing it here at the FSU Weather Studio pretty soon.
Yeah, but hey, make sure you follow us along on Facebook.com/FSU Weather. Follow us on Twitter at FSU Weather for live updates of the severe thunderstorms tomorrow, and you can always watch us anytime at livestream.com/FSU Weather.
We'll be here all week. I'm meteorologist Jonathan Bellis.
And I'm student meteorologist Jack Allen. Have a great night.